visuals, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Pokemon Thursday, the day of the week where we like to find out random facts. Like, did you know a fact of, like, the fact of, we went to the moon before we knew to put wheels on suitcases. Well, if you want more weird facts, then stick along with the video, because there's plenty more to come. This visuals, you got, I keep getting you with this, you got pranked once again, I know, haha, lols and all that shit, pranked channels, who's big prankers on YouTube? What's the fucking idiot called? Vitali and all them, and fucking goes crazy on Twitch every now and then and shit. That one as well, that they do pranks, Roman Atwood and shit. That's some OG fucking YouTube shit there. That list is ranking our favourite, ranking our favourite Pokédexes from every generation. Now, of course, as per usual, because I'm a fucking idiot and I can't explain myself properly because I'm a fucking idiot. Quickly iron out the rules and the T's and C's that apply to this particular list, because when I say Pokédex, I don't mean like, so when we say, I don't know, Generation 2, we're not including the Pidgeys, the Pidgeotos and that of that, even though they're part of that Dex. The Pokemon that come out for that specific, not Pacific, that's a load of water. For that game, so, you know, if we're talking Generation 4, you know, the Garchomps and the Luxrays and that of the world. So as long as they only come out in that generation, they're part of that generation's Dex. That's what we're ranking it on overall. So there's a lot of things that we got to play here, because there might be a generation that I'm not huge on, but their Dex was particularly good, or a region that I love, but I didn't love the starters. There's a lot of things to take into calculation here, because we're ranking everybody together as a collective. So I love Pidgeotto, but I hate Pharaoh, but I'm going to judge them as a collective. I'm going to rank our favourite Pokédexes visuals, so please let me know in the comments below, you beautiful bunch of bastards who have such great, such better opinions than me, and more articulated opinions than me. Let me know in the comments below your favourite Dexes from whichever order you want. Just say, Dan, Gen 2 is my favourite, Gen 5 is my least favourite. Whatever you want to do, but visuals, here we go, we're ready. Take a look at my 9 favourite Pokédexes ranked. There is only 9 favourite. The 9 Pokédexes ranked. As well, I'll include, I will say, region exclusive. So, Alolan Dugtrio, we're going to class that in the Generation 1 stuff. Yes, it come out in Generation 7, but because it's still a Dugtrio, just with a few variations or a few differences, we're going to class it where the original form come from, if that makes sense. So yeah, if it's Dugtrio, it'll be a load of Dugtrio, it'll be classed and ranked inside of the Generation 1 Dex. I think I've got the housekeeping done dusted. I probably made it a lot harder than it needed to be, as per usual. But anyway, here we go. My favourite Pokédex is ranked. Kicking us off is Generation, we've got, Generation 5, unfortunately. Now, there's a few key components we need to take away from Generation 5. As everybody already knows, it's regular viewers of the channel, we know how much I love certain Pokemon from Generation 5. Crocodile, in fact, the whole line. It's Pokemon that I really like, the Golurks of the world, the Galvantures and whatnot of the world, the Braviaries and stuff of the world. But there's some Pokemon that I cannot stand from this generation. But more specifically, the starters. I think it's one of the weakest lineups of starters we've ever had. I don't mind the Tepic line, it's fine. I don't mind Oshawott, but the rest of the line, okay. And the Sniver line, I absolutely hate. I hate the regional bird, the Unpheasants, just... get away from me. But the legendaries bring back a couple of points and whatnot, but then I go back and we take a look at the clink clank clanks and stuff of the world that are just, no thank you, not for me. The Sork and Froze of the world, just, nah, we'll keep that. Your Girders, your Timbers, your Goggleders, you can also keep them. There's too many extremely ugly, I know that's ironic coming from me, Pokemon in this deck. There's too many lackluster, just sort of flat Pokemon for me in this deck. So unfortunately, I'm sorry all you Gen 5 lovers, there's no hate if you love it, and I hope that you love it for the rest of your days. But for me, it's the worst. Up, I'm gonna have to go with Generation 9. Now, although there's a lot of Pokemon again, like the Spinopses, the Baxcaliburs, the Fuecocos, I adore this, but there was too many really weird shenanigans going on in this Pokédex for me. Like, I love Clodsire and stuff, but it makes me feel really, really weird. I love Kilowattrel, but it makes me feel really, really, really weird. I don't know why, the way that it designed the eyes, like in this sexy sort of seductive bird eyes, unless that's just me looking into it, the weird beak. But again, it's a Pokemon I really like, but at the same time, I feel uncomfortable looking at it. It makes absolutely no sense. I completely understand if that's a bit weird and a bit of a shitty, weak, component we're adding there. But then there's also someone, what the fuck, the fucking grasshopper kicky boy, thingy. Not a huge fan of that. I don't know, I love saying the legendary lot in this, but I don't know how I feel about them. I don't know, like, the chins and whatnot of the world. I want to say I like them, but then sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I do. It's a weird one for me. There's a lot, again, of quite ugly Pokemon. The Dash Buns I'm not really a big fan of. Okay, the Scovalians and stuff, yeah, alright, whatever. I'm not even a massive fan of Lechonk and stuff like that. They don't really do it for us. The starters, I think the starters are really, really, really weak. Like Fuecoco's awesome. As the line moves on, okay. Quaxly line, will say no more for me. Sprigatito, okay, but then the rest of the line, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm sorry. There are one or two that make it a bit above Generation 5 for me. Like I said, the back Scaliburs, the world, the Pour Me line stuff. Fuecoco is a great starter. Miraidon and Koraidon stuff, absolutely amazing. The Paradox shenanigans, the different Paradox Pokemon, beautiful. But yeah, there's some, like, the Dash Bund. What the fuck? Sorry to say, but it's Generation 3. Now, this is getting a bit hard because every generation going forward has components that I love, but I'm going for this one because I think I don't know if I'm being a bit biased, because when I first started playing the Gen 3 stuff, I was always being an idiot of building my team. I was always making my team a bit weird and what the fuck. It took me ages to get a decent water type if I haven't started with Mudkip and stuff like that. You know, the way you'd go around different routes and where you'd find certain Pokemon and whatnot. But then as I've played the game more and more and more, and I realised, okay, I can get you from here, get you from there, I always felt like my options were very scarce and very, like, too few and far between. Like, getting into the early routes and whatnot and getting the Wurmple stuff. I don't mind Wurmple, but as an early region bug, it's okay. Dustox, whatever. Wingull and Pelipper, I have pretty much no love to. But then we do have some quality moments. Swellow I really like. The Flygons, who doesn't love a fucking Flygon? Metagross, the Reggie stuff is absolutely brilliant. Groudon and Kyogre are absolutely amazing. But then I fall in the other category and I go with, like, Gorbis and Huntail and that, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, you definitely have to lose a few points for this particular generation. I also, again, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I'm completely fully aware that I am in the minority, but I'm not a huge fan of Torchic. I don't like really like Torchic. I don't really like Combustion, and I don't really like Blaziken. It has a Digimon feel to me, but I love Sceptile, I love Swampert, I love every... Oh no, to be fair, Marshtomp I'm not a huge fan of. Mudkip, Swampert, beautiful. Marshtomp, okay-ish. But the whole Trico line, absolute sublimable. That word. Next up, it is Generation 4. Now, again, this is another one that comes with massive swings and roundabouts. The Garchomps, we say no more. Staraptor, amazing. Luxray, awesome. The starters on a whole, to be fair, are fairly solid. I like all the starters. I like Empoleon, I like Torterra, I like Infernape and whatnot. But then on the other side, again, we go back and we have to take a look at the likes of, like, how do we feel about Pachirisu? I like it, but as I try and get loads of weird Ming and burps out, it's okay. I also have to take it to play all the extra evolution stuff we got. Tangrowth. Do I like it or do I just want a Tangela? Magmortar has weird lips and a weird face, terrifies me, go away. Electrifier though, fucking Electivire, absolutely awesome. Buizel, Floatzel, I use a lot, but then Floatzel looks a little bit funny to me, but Buizel's really, really great. Wormadam, the fuck are you all about? It is a really tough one to call. Again, with the legendaries as well for Generation 4, the legendaries are absolutely class for this. I love the Generation 4 legendaries and the stories that go with them. I don't know how I feel about Cresselia. Cresselia is a bit of a weird one for me. I love the story between Cresselia and Darkrai and whatnot. Yeah, but anyway, sorry, the weak components, and I'm spitting a hell of a lot, aren't I? And I don't know if I had to mark this one down a little bit, because when I got to play Gen 4, most times, definitely more often than not, it's always a carbon copy of the same team. It's very rare I go for different teams in Generation 4. And I don't know if that's a bad thing. I've got the set ones that I like, and that's it. I don't really want to go near anybody else. And surely for that reason, if I'm not going anywhere else, I have to mark it down. Have I made sense there? Next up, it's Generation 8. I think overall Generation 8 was really, really friggin' cool. But then we get, like, Alcremie. We get Grimmsnarl. What the fuck is the matter with Grimmsnarl? Fallinks. Bit weird. Stonejourner. Okay, but then hang on a sec. We get Slizzapede. Oh, my. We get Center Scorch as well. We get the awesome Swalowdan. The awesome start of that is Grookey. Oh, my God. The whole Grookey line is just fucking phenomenal for me. We get the Urshifu shenanigans. We get the legendary, well, not legendary dogs, but, you know, Zamazenta and Zacian. Fucking epic. We get this beautiful story with Eternatus involved with the dogs and whatnot, which is just so good. We get Duraludon. We get Dragapult. There's so many massive hitters inside of this deck for me that are absolutely fucking outstanding. But like I said, the Alcremies and the Stonejourners of the world and whatnot do bring it down a little bit. The Carkol, the Colossal, the Roly-Coly, fucking awesome. Fucking Wooloo. Yeah, Wooloo. Dubwool and it's fucking Wooloo. Corviknight. There are so many amazing Pokemon inside of this deck. I absolutely love it, and it had to be relatively high on this list. Gen 6 is another weird one. I haven't took into account Mega Evolution, because I know it's different forms and whatnot, but obviously the Dex is just, it is what it is. So we're not saying like Mega Charizard is part of this Dex. Charizard will be in his own collective later down the line. There aren't too many huge offenders in this Dex for me. Florges and whatnot, okay. I'm not a huge fan of Klefki and stuff. Fennekin line, whatever. But then we get to some absolute beautiful creations of Pokemon. I'm talking Trevenant. Oh my God, you absolute beast. I'm talking Goodra. Oh, fuck yes, I love a Goodra. I love me some Goodra. We're talking Greninja as a starter. Fucking outstanding. The only time the water starters beat the grass type starters for me, because usually in most gens apart from Gen 5, it's usually always grass type. Just absolutely cool as shit. And then we're going along with like Furfrou, yeah. I'm forgetting everybody's name today. Which I love the element we had there because we're in Paris and whatnot, and haircuts and fashion and all that kind of shit. But no, it's just a basic bitch of a dog. But then I remember Pangoro. He's a fucking beast as well. There are so many great Pokemon inside of this Dex, and it is only let down by a few Pokemon. I think this Dex is solely pulled massively through because of like Greninja, Hawlucha, Talonflame, Goodra, them sort of Pokemon. Ash's sort of team, to be fair, inside of the Kalos story arc in the anime is absolutely on point. So yeah, them boys and girls bring it right through for me. Next up, we've got Generation 7 in our third position. Generation 7 is an absolutely amazing Dex. There is a lot of weak points. I'm not a huge fan of Wishy-Washy. Toucannon, I don't mind. I don't know where I stand with Charjabug, the rest of the line. I don't know where I stand with them, but there is somebody that I stand completely wholeheartedly with, and I will for the rest of eternity, and that is Rowlet. Rowlet, the rest of the decks could be awful, but because Rowlet is a part of it, it gets a million, trillion, billion, gazillion points. I love Rowlet so fucking much. I love Dartrix, and I love Decidueye so much. The Litten line, amazing. Poplio, I don't mind, but the rest of the line, it kind of loses me for a little bit. But yeah, Rowlet just carries this so much for me. The Ultra Beasts, they're not technically Pokemon, but they are part of the decks and whatnot. Creatively, they're fine, but the end product in the world of Pokemon doesn't massively go well for me. But I guess that's kind of the point, that these are otherworldly creatures coming in. Poipole and Naganadel, absolutely awesome. Necrozma, fantastic. I love some Necrozma shenanigans. Solgaleo, Lunala, absolutely awesome as well. Pyukumuku, great name. You get a massive thumbs up just for having a great name. Bruxish, we'll stay away from Bruxish. We're not really bothered. Kamala, though, I absolutely love. Kamala's an absolute little unit of a beat. Lorantis, even Shiinotic. It's just a fun Mr. Burns Pokemon. But yes, I will admit I'm being biased, and Rowlet is completely carrying this dex for me. So it's going to be generation, what we are, 8, 7 for the third spot. Next up, it is Generation 2. Sorry to be so predictable. Sorry to have the same shenanigans. I do apologise. But yeah, Generation 2. Heracross, outstanding. The starters, outstanding. The legendary beasts, outstanding. Hoolugia, Celebi, even the likes of the Centrits of the world, awesome. Hoothoot, Noctowl, amazing. Misdrevious, cool as fuck. There's not many corners we can go to in the Generation 2 decks where I'm like, I don't really like you. The Ampharos, Mareep, Fluffy Line, beautiful. Steelix, fucking outstanding. Hitmontop getting included and whatnot. Heracross, if I haven't already said it, my second favourite Pokemon of all time. I fucking love Heracross. And plus, just a lot of the OG Mons were absolute perfection. They were just so good and they were so great. And like I said, I know I might be a 90s kid and all that, and I'm being a bit biased and shit. But I look at the Gen 2 decks and there's Smeargle, I'm not the biggest fan of. I like that it's unique and whatnot, but it's okay. It's just there. I'm not a huge fan of Sudowoodo, but I do have fond memories because it's part of the whole story, getting Sudowoodo and whatnot out of the way. Houndoom and Houndia, epic. The little fiery bad boy dogs. Not massive on Espeon and Umbreon, but I do really like them. I'm not massive on them. I soft really like them. So even the ones that I'm not huge on, Politoed, beautiful. Kingdra. So yeah, even the ones that I'm not massive on, I still really like. So Gen 2 as a dex overall. Of course, that leaves us with Generation 1, doesn't it? I think most of our lists for dexes and games and whatnot usually end at Generation 1. But what can I say about Generation 1? Apart from Mr. Mime, who grew on me lately, especially because of the Detective Pikachu film and how it interacted with that and made us giggle. Jinx, your cloth is a part of your body because you're a Pokemon, but are you wearing a dress, whatnot? Okay, what the fuck's going on? But then when you get rid of like them two sort of grey areas for me in Generation 1, you just have an instant classic, the most iconic, the most amazing, the most perfect trio starter Pokemon ever. The first dragons being evolved with Dragonite. The iconic legendary birds, Mewtwo, Mew, my boy Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Pidgey, the early route stuff, the Rattatas and Raticates, getting a Nidoran male or all female, both outstanding designs and outstanding Pokemon. Later on, maybe getting yourself a Cypher or a Pinsir or a Kangaskhan, Rhyhorn, Rhydon, epic. Onyx, Geodude, Graveler, Golem, Ghastly, Haunted, Gengar. Every fucker loves them. Everybody loves them. Who else? The Bellsprouts of the world. The Oddish Lions and whatnot. Yes, Fearow and Spearow bring it down a lot. In terms of design, it's not the biggest offender for me. It's the arc and the anime that really just offended us for that. But yeah, Generation 1, the best decks of all time for me. There we have visuals. That is my favourite dexes in order, but please let me know yours in the comments below. So what did we do? We went 5, 9, 3, 4, 8, 6, 7, 2, 1. I want to know yours in the comments below because, like I said, you guys will have much better stuff to talk about than I do. You always fucking do. From that, I'm going to go get myself a milkshake because I know some fat boy's got a couple of Mars milkshakes in the fridge. We're going to have a cigarette and I'm going to sit and chill out. And what am I watching tonight? I'm rewatching Euphoria. I'm going to watch some Euphoria tonight. Don't know why I mentioned that at the end of a Pokemon video, but I did. More importantly, you guys are genuinely the fucking best. I can't wait to see the comments on this video. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep being you and keep on keeping on.